Where does Cam Ward sit in this race to be the starter or in the depth chart or playing time? Or did you get a sense for how that's going to shake out?
Sorry, you take a quarterback these days in the NFL at number 1 overall, he's going to be the starter. Now, the Titans are trying very hard. And in fact, yesterday, Brian Callahan kind of did a preemptive strike, so to speak. He says, we're rotating the quarterbacks. So don't ask me who's number 1. We don't have any 1s. We don't have any 2s. We don't have any starters. We're just rotating. We have a plan for our quarterbacks. And having covered this team, especially the last 3 years when they have managed 3 wins each season with a rotation from Ryan Tannehill to Will Levis, Malik Willis got in there. My God, Josh Dobbs, do we forget him?
Yeah.
The year that the last year that they were contending for a playoff title, and that went down in flames in Jacksonville. So I'll be honest. Cam Ward's going to be the starter this season. Now, the question is he the starter September 7th at Denver? Do they go ahead and hand it to him? And because, I'm sorry, the problem I have with Will Levis, and Brian Callahan raved about him yesterday. He is definitely improved. He's worked hard. He went out to California to work with quarterback guru Jordan Palmer on his footwork, ball security. I just have a hard time getting out of my head 26 combined turnovers.
Yeah.
That is interceptions and fumbles lost last year. A 17-point lead in the opener at Chicago, literally blown away, led by a pick 6. And Will Levis is improving. Well, at the end of practice yesterday, and now granted, no pads. It's the first time all offseason that they've gone against the other side, the defense. Mark Perry picked him off, and it would have been a pick 6 to end practice off of Will Levis. And now Cam Ward's a rookie. He's making rookie mistakes. There was a bobbled exchange that hit the floor. Their center is recovering from an Achilles. Lloyd Cushenberry played only 8 games last year. But Cam Ward's going to be the starter. It's just a matter of when do they say it.
Do they want Kirk Cousins? We'll give him Kirk Cousins.
No.
He's available.
No, isn't he going to Pittsburgh if Aaron Rodgers just
I hope he goes somewhere. I don't know.
There?
I'll just get him out of Atlanta. Let's get him somewhere else.
Just philosophical question for both of you, Teresa and Lane. We'll start with you, Teresa, and then get Lane's thoughts on this. What would you do with a rookie quarterback? You got the number 1 overall draft pick. You drafted the quarterback as a rookie, not just for the Titans, but just in general. You're the general manager of a football team. You're the head coach or the owner of a football team. What would be your mentality? Would you want to play them immediately, or would you want to let them sit for at least a handful of games before you stick them out there?
In a perfect world, that would be the great approach, right? Because there is a difference from college to the NFL. But we don't live in that world anymore. Steve McNair essentially started behind, or sat on the bench behind Chris Chandler for the first 2 seasons with the Houston Oilers before they finally started, and turned him loose as the starter. Peyton Manning, he was thrown into the water. And, he was just picked off left and right. He had a miserable rookie year, but it paid dividends. And Cam Ward has made it very clear that he is a competitor and he wants to be better. The line that stuck out to me yesterday, the defensive coordinator, Denard Wilson, said that if there's an open receiver on the field, Cam Ward can find him. And, this is the thing. You can't look at this franchise in the amount of holes that they have to fill and say they're going to be a playoff contender this year. So let Cam Ward learn. He's the number 1 pick. Throw him out there. Let him learn. Because now I can see a great argument for keeping Will Levis as the backup, without a doubt. But I'm sorry, Cam Ward needs to be the starter. Why? Because this team has not been good. And the only way they're going to get good is if a quarterback can lead them, and you need to find out if Cam Ward is the guy.
Well, you're saying let Cam Ward learn. I feel like he had a year to learn. And I know you said that yesterday he was talking about, season 2 in a system is a chance to really kind of take that next step and understand it at a different level. We saw him. He's had a year to learn. And
Will Levis?
Yes.
Yeah.
Levis, has had a year to learn and has sort of been a disaster. And also, you can't pour perfume on a pig. Like, we saw him at Kentucky. We saw him in the NFL. Like he's okay, he's fine.
Lang,
like you said.
we sat here.
Yes.
That Kentucky game, Odds Couple, Grind City Media subsidiary, isn't it on today, Lang?
Yes, 2:00.
Right here on Grind City Media. We sat here. Kentucky played Tennessee in that big game. It was like, all right, here we go. Let's see what Will Levis is about. And he threw that damn pick six, and I guess the game went from 310 to like 317. It was like, oh no, I'm out on him. I don't know how much. I'm with you. I don't know how much more you need to see from Will Levis.
He did the same against Georgia 3 years ago when Kentucky was undefeated, like halfway through the season, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is it. It's a big matchup," and the same thing. So my thought to that point is that like we kind of know what Will Levis is. Like, let's see what Cam Ward is. Let's throw him out there. Now that being said, I would say I mean for all the for all anything you want to say about the Falcons, there's plenty you can say about them. I think they kind of handled that situation pretty well last year in terms of Cousins and then the transition to Michael Penix. You know, Kirk Cousins started the first 10 games, whatever it was, and then they went to Penix. So it gave him some time to get in there, understand the system. Cousins was okay. Like they were still had a chance to make the playoffs by the time they made the switch. You know, maybe if Penix starts from the start of the season, he's okay. And then, like, you know, look at Bryce Young in Carolina. Like they started him as a rookie and then had to bench him for a while to figure stuff out. I would think Cam Ward, you know, maybe it's better to ease him into it a little bit instead of just throwing him out there and seeing if he's able to sink or swim.
Two things. Cam Ward is a guy who's gone from Incarnate Word to Washington State to Miami. He's shown the ability to adapt quickly.
Yeah.
So that is a huge plus in his favor. The other thing, Titans don't have a veteran like Kirk Cousins on their roster. Will Levis is going into his third year, and we've kind of seen the best of Will Levis. Now, you can argue, oh, they've revamped the offensive line. They've got a new left tackle, a new right guard. You've got Cushenberry coming back at center, and then J.C. Latham is back at right tackle, and that's where he played college at Alabama. So if the offensive line's better, then maybe he makes better decisions. But then it comes down to Will Levis making better decisions, and that's the challenge. This is a franchise that lost 7 games last year by 8 points or less.
Yeah.
And they had 3 wins for the year. If you can turn half of those, then, you know, if you get 4 out of the 7 and make those wins, then guess what? Suddenly you're at 7 wins, and you can be thinking about we're heading in the right direction, and and show that proof. And in the AFC South, oh my God, you're a win or two, the way the schedule's built, maybe you're playing for something, that's how quickly the NFL can change. Look at the Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels. So that's why I'm thinking you've got to go with Cam. In a perfect world, yeah, it'd be nice if you had a veteran who could do that. If you had Ryan Tannehill on this roster, that would be exactly what you'd like to do. It just didn't, at this point, with what they've got, and Brandon Allen was taking a lot of those first snaps to start some drills yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm not turning it over to Brandon Allen either.
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m.